Guys, this is Nikhil. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to continue my deep dive into Terra Luna ecosystem. I've made almost 3 videos on it. The protocol that I'm going to talk about today is Kujira by Orca. This is a significantly important protocol for the entire Terra Luna ecosystem because it helps stabilize the Terra Luna price and as well as the helps keep the peg of UST to USD. Before I get into the protocol, I'll have to explain you what is a centralized exchange and how a decentralized exchange works. I think if I give you clarity on these two topics, understanding Kujira becomes much more easier. Right? So if you already know what centralized exchanges do, what is leverage trading, how does decentralized exchanges work, then you can skip towards the end. I've left the timestamps. You can go check out the Kujira app that I'm going to use today. All right, so before we start, as always, I'm not your financial advisor. This is just for education purposes only. All right, okay, so let me start talking about a centralized exchange. Right, what is a centralized exchange? A centralized exchange is an exchange owned by a company. So in this case, I'm showing you a Binance screen. If you are in India, you might be aware of WazirX or CoinDCX. A lot of these, centralized exchanges are owned by the companies, which got a proper CEO, CFO, etc. And there's, if you're in US, there's so many centralized exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, etc. Right? So what can you do with a centralized exchange? There are two things that you can do in a centralized exchange. One is spot trading. When I say spot trading, you just buy the token. It will go and stay in your spot wallet. Okay, and you can sell the token whenever you feel like. Okay. Then you've got these futures trading, which this is derivatives trading, which allows you to long or short a particular asset. Right, while doing your spot trading, effectively when you buy Bitcoin, you're actually longing on Bitcoin, but hypothetically, in theory, obviously you're longing Bitcoin, but in this derivatives trading, what it allows you to do is it allows you to do a leverage trading. As leverage trading means is taking borrowing loan on by providing your asset as collateral and going long or short with that loan. Okay, for example, now I have say $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in my wallet, so I will say I want to go 10x leverage, then my entire position here would become $10,000 and I'll go long. So my returns will also be 10x if BTC goes up, and my returns will be 10x. The risk obviously is the liquidation price, which means you losing your $1,000 becomes very high because the liquidation price of BTC would be very close to your entry price. So for example, you entered at $42,066, your liquidation price might be $41,700 if you go with the 10x leverage. Okay, so you got to remember this very clearly. Leverage trading is borrowing money and going long or short. Okay, so liquidation becomes extremely risky. I mean, it becomes very likely if you go with a very high leverage. You could, in the past, you could do 100x leverage as well. A lot of people used to get liquidated, right? So on a centralized exchange, on your left side, you can see these are the order, these are the short positions, or these are the sell positions, and these are the buy positions. So if 46,000, 42,000, for 42, there is it keeps changing very quickly. So if you see there is a buy order against each of these rate, and of course there is sell order as soon as the price goes to these levels. Okay, this is a typical centralized exchange. All right, So things that you need to remember is leverage, trading, and the liquidation price, because this is important when I talk about Kujira, right? So I get in and make an entry at 442,048 with a 10x leverage with my $1,000 Bitcoin. My liquidation price would be $41,800, which means if Bitcoin comes down to $41,800, my $1,000 will get wiped out. Okay. So now I'm showing you an example of Anchor protocol. This is the one which I have been talking about for some time now. This is the backbone of the entire Terra Luna ecosystem. What you can do here is you can do a long position, not exactly like what I showed you there in centralized exchange, but here you can provide your Luna token as collateral. You can borrow on top of it, okay, and when you provide collateral, it becomes B Luna. Okay, when you provide Luna as your collateral, it becomes B Luna. This is the asset name. And when you borrow it, you can convert it back into, you get it in USD, you can convert it back into B Luna and add it here. Okay, and then again you can borrow money and convert it back and add it here. So you are actually mimicking what I showed you here. What I showed you here, which is 10x leverage. So you are actually mimicking that manually in this. Okay, so I have provided collateral of $100 worth of B Luna. Okay, I can borrow $50. So I will borrow $50. I will convert it back and I'll add it here. So what happens? My collateral value becomes $150 and my borrowed value is 50. So I'm still eligible to borrow another $25. So I'll borrow another $25. Then again convert it and put it back. So I'm actually looping. So I'm going 2x, 3x leverage. Okay, long on this position. So the risk again is your loan to value ratio. So if I keep doing this, and if the Luna price, so when I for example bought this, Luna currently is trading at $71. So I bought this and I provided one Luna, $100 worth of Luna, which is approximately 1.3 Luna, whatever. So when I started looping this, my liquidation price would have been say $65, right? So if I say I keep looping this 10 times, then my liquidation price obviously gets very, very close to the current price of Luna, right? So when this liquidation price, if Luna comes down to that liquidation price, let's say it's $65, I will lose this collateral. My initial collateral was $100, I will lose that. Okay, so very similar to what happens here, right? Very similar to what happens here. Okay, so hope this is very clear to you guys. This is very important to understand how liquidation works. So now imagine a scenario. There are hundreds and thousands of people doing the same strategy like you, right? So now liquidation price is $65, right? So I have put $100 here, but my derived value when I do a 10x probably is $1,000 worth of Luna, right? There will be another person who would have done a similar strategy with $10,000 initial investment and 10x $100,000 worth of Luna, and someone else would have done it in millions, right? So what happens if one of those guys, he is unable to he is over leveraged, he has put in a lot of money and he's over leveraged and he gets liquidated. So what happens is when you say liquidated, the protocol goes and sells your Luna token. Okay, when I say liquidation, it just the protocol, Anchor protocol goes and sells your Luna. So a guy who's put in millions of dollars worth of Luna and over leveraged it, when if he's over leveraged it by 10 times, those millions of dollars worth of Luna, the protocol picks it up and sells it at one go. So what it does, it brings the price of Luna down and it will obviously liquidate other people who are in the queue, right? So here in a centralized exchange, similar thing happens. But the difference here is you have these order books. So now I get liquidated if 42,000 or 43,000, someone gets liquidated, Bitcoin price drops by another 3-4% at one within a minute. There will be people who are waiting to pick it up because they've got these order books, right? In this case, the order books are not there in Anchor protocol, but there are other decentralized exchanges where order books are available. In this case, it's not there, and this has one of the reasons why we've had an issue with USD peg to 1 USD in the past. Okay, so this is where just imagine a scenario, because I told you they can have a cascading liquidation. So someone gets liquidated millions of dollars. There is no order book to buy those things. So what happens is there will be a couple of bots owned by a couple of whales. They will go and pick this for 20% or 30% discount. Okay, because it's a free fall. As soon as the liquidation happens, it's just pure free fall for these protocols, and there is no stops like over here. There are no stops, there are no bids in every other price point that it can stop. It just drops like a bomb, right? And there are bots that the whales would be running in the background. They come and pick up those cheap Luna, right? So this is where the Kujira came into picture. So I'll move to this protocol called Kujira. So what they did, they built this order book. This is the order book. So what this does is, every time Luna has a cascading effect like what I explained, rather than it dumping to 20-30%, it does sometimes. So the dump here is picked up by these order books. Okay, so if I put a 20% bid premium discount and I submit, if Luna price drops by 20%, remember the drop in centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges centralized exchanges and decentralized are quite different, because it's all automated. The value that you see on centralized exchanges, the way it moves, it's not the same in a decentralized exchange. Okay, so it happens rapidly, and within that fraction of a second, the price gets adjusted. Okay, so in this case, imagine a scenario. I have put a bid for 20%. Okay, if Luna drops by 20%, I pick it up somewhere here, right? And the centralized exchange would have not dropped to that level because they already have these order books. Okay, so it'll have some few seconds to reconcile between the centralized and decentralized exchanges, the price. That's where the entire arbitrage world comes into picture. Okay, so now I have picked it up at 20% discount, B Luna. If I go to the centralized exchange, the same B Luna would be trading at least 2 to 3% above what I've picked up for. Okay, and I can come here and straight away sell it, right? So that is the way you can make a lot of money with this protocol, right? I know it's a bit confusing to a lot of you, especially to the newcomers. It will be very, very confusing. Just remember that you get Luna, B Luna, in fact Ethereum as well. You can get Ethereum Eth as well for a very discounted price than your centralized exchanges. Okay, so remember this. If you put some orders here for 20% and just forget about it, say you put a bid here for 20% discount, even if Ethereum doesn't drop by 20% in a centralized exchange, you are able to pick it up from here. Okay, so that is the value this protocol brings to the table. Right, so how to use it, I'm gonna show you how to use it. I have connected my wallet. So you first need USD, and I'm going to look for the discount. So it says premium is the discount you will receive on your B Luna bid. So I'm going to say I want 20% discount, and I have $116. So I'm going to keep some for gas, so I'm going to keep $100 and I'm going to place my bid. Okay, since I'm using my hardware wallet, I got to go and accept my transaction. Okay, yep, so my total active bids is $100 and I will get a discount. I'll be waiting for the discount. If liquidation happens, then I will get my Luna. Of course, 20%. If you see here, the percentage of the order book is quite high, between 6% and 8%, because Luna price action is pretty decent now. It's not dumping like crazy, so I think there is a lot of support on the chart. So that's why the liquidation price is not exceeded beyond 12%. All right, and I can also go and cancel this. So it says bid status ready in 8 minutes and activate it now. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so it's approved now. My transaction shows as active. If this position gets closed, which is 20%, I'm being too optimistic that it will come down. I hope it doesn't come down by 20%. It's just for you guys, just to show you guys how it's done. So if Luna price drops by 20%, so my this protocol will pick up my bid order and it'll provide me the BLuna token here. Okay, so that's all I had for today. If you guys liked it, smash that like button. Please subscribe. 98% of you don't subscribe to the channel, so please do subscribe. It'll help me, it'll keep motivating me to make more and more videos. So yep, so that's all I had. Have a great day, guys.